Since 9/11, there has been a steady rise in Islamophobia in this country. However, recent months have seen the exponential rise of anti-Islam and anti-Muslim bigotry.
Today, it's an undisputed fact that the Arab, Middle Eastern, Muslim, and South Asian communities have been cast as a threat, enemies of the state, and all measures are directed at preventing a security threat from being actualized from within.
Without trust, everything falls apart.
I also am of Iranian heritage, in noticing that some of the emphasis that had been placed by recent comments by SFPD for a number of reasons.
As you'll hear from many speakers this evening, Arab, Middle Eastern, South Asian, and Muslim communities feel under siege because of the law enforcement surveillance that they're experiencing from the FBI.
My ordeal have lasted for 20 years. I was targeted for deportation from 1987 till 2007, when the government finally put a statement out that we now concluded that those people have done nothing wrong.
One time I became so frustrated that I took out this card. This is a Department of Veterans Affairs cards that U.S. military veterans get. And I earned this by serving 4.5 years in the Air Force. And I was on the verge of just throwing this at the officer and telling him to just take this because it doesn't mean anything as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't mean anything to not have a criminal record, to have served your country, to have sacrificed, to struggle both with yourselves and others to try to make yourself a better citizen, a more responsible citizen. And just because you're a Muslim, you're exposed to this humiliation.
They arranged another meeting with me at the same Starbucks. I told them at that time that I didn't want to be an informant for the FBI. And they told me that if I did not agree to become an informant, that they would prevent my son from getting his green card. Now, years later, my son is still waiting for his green card.
When I grow up, I want to be a cop. I think cops are cool and make everybody safe. I do not like the cops at the airport. I've been on a plane more than 10 times since I was 4 years old. There is no beeping sound when I walk through the special door, but every time the cop stops me and puts me in a glass cage.
The one time I have not been checked was in Texas last year. I walked through the metal detector. An African-American gentleman, 6 feet 6 inches, 300 pounds, gave me a hug saying, "I am sorry. I do not believe we are doing this to you people. I know our policy is wrong. I apologize for everybody." I do not want my kids to grow up in a country where they're pulled aside for the way they look. This is not the American way. I think we can make it better. Thank you.
After 9/11, my father was one of the first to speak up against the dangers of targeting the Muslim, Arab, South Asian community, as this was alarming and too similar to the same institutional racism that had impacted his own Japanese American community in 1942.
Our members who worked as janitors, who works as security officers, who has been targeted immediately after 9/11 from putting their pictures, the pictures of the 11 hijackers in the break rooms and putting the names of the workers on it.
I was here only to highlight, to give you, this commission, a window into the ripple effect of this kind of harassment. There are substantial effects on the community, needless to say. For one, hardworking people in a down economy having to pony up tens of thousands of dollars for legal fees. Doubt and distrust marring decades-long relationships. In a most unchivalrous manner, many of Hodge's longtime friends began to distance themselves from him.
They use the slang and the term, "you people" and "you terrorists" to us.
My name is Fuad Al-Audi. I am a Yemeni American citizen. I have no criminal record whatsoever. The only criminal record I have with the San Francisco airport when I traveled.
One of the female officers asked me to remove my scarf. I told her I cannot do it in front of men. She took me into the restroom where she said it's okay to take it off here. However, the stalls were only yay high and I was still exposed. I said I cannot do it this way. I said I had to kneel down in the restroom and remove my scarf and unveil myself for her to check my hair. Right now, my husband is in Pakistan working with an orphanage. He is working on a documentary there, and I'm afraid that because of this, he will not be let back into the country. It is a shame that somebody can go try to help orphans and not be let back in.